Hello, good, fine people of Earth. I have a question for you. Glenn Eunice here, founder and chief creative officer here at Corner Unit Media. You know, we do a lot of different things for our clients at our work, whether it's big stuff or, did a recent deal with Verizon or Hyundai, or we're doing local stuff for a local DC-based accounting firm or a local Howard County healthcare conglomerate that we do a lot of business for as sort of basically their outsourced marketing department, if you will. We're always really nailing who we are and what we are down to content creation, audience consumption. We understand how people consume content, whether it's TV, behind me, via here, whether it's Instagram TV or YouTube, wherever you're consuming content, right? We understand these things, what we've done for many years, my team and I, whether it's chief marketers like our guy Shane or Ian, who spent many years at SiriusXM as a producer in the newsroom and in studio doing Washington Capitol stuff, whatever it is. Our whole team is full of content creators, marketers, audience consumption people. So it's my job to do these videos. This one's probably gonna live on IGTV. We try to really over-index on IGTV lately. So, it's always up to me to come up with all these different content plays, and you can see the little hand thing there. There you go, take that out. It's my job to come up with all these little things, right? And the reason we want to do content this way is it's a little more natural and organic. And yes, it's Sunday, and if you look close enough, you can see what game it is, so you know what week we record. I don't care. But I want to give you the message of sort of different thoughts about consumption and content. All right, so feel me on this one. Is that a... can you see my Snickers bar snack in the background? Where's the Snickers bar? I don't know. Anyway, this one's about audio. I almost said radio, but it's not radio and it's not podcast, it's audio. We consume audio in many different ways. Some ways we consume them is radio driving in the car. Others is podcasts, and you may listen to it while you're running, or you may listen to it on your iTunes or Google Play or what have you. But let's talk a little bit about audio. And this is not like, I don't want to get too deep and too specific, like, well, you could listen to a book on tape and that's audio, but you're really reading a book. Forget that for a second. You have to buy that. It's a one-time thing. And yes, it's audio, but just bear with me for a second. Let's just take sports radio, right? Your regular sports radio show, Monday morning quarterback radio show, and your favorite podcast, whether it's, Joe Rogan or Tim Ferriss or whatever. We're talking like Guy sports radio versus Guy like business, entertainment, entrepreneur radio, podcast, whatever. NPR. I love the NPR, How I Built This, okay? When you listen to your favorite podcast, and let's just be broad and say it's on iTunes, they come in and they start and they say, hey, this podcast is brought to you by Company XYZ. Visit Company XYZ because they do this and that for you, and thank you to our sponsors. Let's get into the show. Maybe they even have a quick snippet, like a 90-second teaser of what the show's coming on. Then they play that little show is brought to you by, then they get into the show. They give you X amount, 10, 20 minutes of content, depending on how long the show is. They go to a break, or they don't even go to a break. They read you a live read that says this show brought to you by XYZ, and then they're back into it. And they never really take a break, right? It's all one piece of content, head to tail. It's mostly the show with a live read, 20 seconds sprinkled in, live read, 20 seconds sprinkled in there, right? Okay. You ever wonder why regular local radio.com doesn't just do that as well? You're listening to your local morning zoo or your sports talk radio show in the morning, and they go away for 3 and 4 and 5 minutes, 3 and 4 times an hour. You ever wonder why they do that? They go away. We'll be right back after this. And then program directors tell the talent not to go away. Don't say we'll be right back. They try to trick the audience and go to commercial so they won't tell. And then by the time the audience realizes they're in commercial, you've already heard a commercial or two of you. I promise you those conversations go on in regular radio because I've been in those rooms. I have. You're not tricking the audience into going to break because you hard break. 14 seconds into that commercial, max, they're gone. 14 seconds into a podcast commercial, you're almost back into programming again. Why does terrestrial traditional radio, why do they go away for 3 and 4 and 5 minutes? Have you ever wondered that? Why couldn't they go to a podcast model even during a live broadcast? Think about this now. People are, Glenn, you're crazy. That's not the way they do it. They got to pay the advertising. But you do it inside the show. Why does the show ever have to go away? Think about it. Think about if every host kept the show in studio, them talking, voices you recognize, an environment you know that you're comfortable with, and they served you ads inside of that. Instead of going away, quote unquote, to a pre-produced audio commercial. Forget what platform, forget what medium. If everyone says podcasts are hot because it's on-demand audio and you can listen when you want, right? And they don't go away from commercials. Okay, you know from 6 to 10 your morning show is going to be on. If you want to listen to it then, that's when you want. Yeah, you can get it afterwards, sure. But if they never go away from commercial and they serve you you can run the same clock. You want to go to break at 12, go to break at 12. But don't go anywhere. Keep it there. Inside of your show. Think of it maybe as product placement even if you're that rudimentary in your thought. If you keep it home, if you keep it in the environment with the voices and the people that they trust, the listeners trust, maybe you'll get more listenership. Maybe you'll get less channel surfing. Maybe you'll get listeners to stay for that extra quarter hour or so. I'll give you a quick anecdote. When I had my national radio show at SiriusXM for a handful of years, we had clocks and we had to stick to certain things. We had the top of the hour update, which top to 03 and all these different things, right? I would push and stretch the breaks from 03 to 5750 as much as I could, sometimes even combining them and going to a major break. So I'd only take one break a show if I could help it. It'd be me and the update anchor. I'd do a whole show, throw to the update, whole show, break for however many minutes, update, whole show again if I could. And the ratings went through the roof. I did the same thing at CBS. I'd push those breaks as much as possible. I'd keep the show with me and my audience where it belonged. We'll get the commercials in whenever we get them in, however we get them in. It works. I've done it in real life. I did it experiment. Who cares? Oh, he's a program director. Look, check out the ratings. Holler at me later. I'm telling you, the way the podcasts serve audiences, commercials, is the way audiences want to be served in the environment, self-contained by the voices and the hosts that they trust and are listening for and are listening to. If you can do it in terrestrial radio, why not? You're going away for 3 and 4 and 5 minutes, you've lost your audience, and you know how long it takes to get them back. That's the new way to audio. Forget radio. It's audio. How do you audio? If you're a brand, if you're a broadcaster, if you're trying to disseminate audio, radio, how do you audio? That's the question I want to ask. How do you audio? We have to rethink how people consume content for us to understand how to win. How do you audio is the question. All right, I will holler at you. info@cornerunitmedia.com. If you want anything, please reach out. info@cornerunitmedia.com. And of course, as that goes, so goes the URL, cornerunitmedia.com. I will talk to you guys later.